So we just got back from Redding, California. I did not know how much like Texas it was with the Cowboys hats and all the white trucks running around, but it felt like home. Eric Vickery put on a 2-day Dream Team course for, I don't know, how many offices would you say were there? 9?
Yeah, 10, something like that. Yeah.
9, 10, another 3 remote. And we went from treatment presented to growth mindset to thrive by design with Abigail and Becca. And Eric always delivers a killer presentation around just treatment presented and phone skills and team culture. But what were your big takeaways?
Hi, I really enjoyed listening to Eric Vickery talk. He is fun, he is engaging. And, having seen him speak a couple of times, it's been an interesting experience to see the difference between when we saw him in Rochester in a more formal setting to a more relaxed setting in Reading. And I think it was really fun to see the level of team engagement. So for those who weren't there, a lot of these practices brought their entire staff to the training. And like Eric said, from phone skills to hygiene to treatment presentation, it was a all-in kind of course, but to see the level of engagement from the teams and the culture, it was really fun to watch, because these ladies were, when he asked a question, hands flew up and everybody was, fun, lighthearted, and competitive. That was the part that I really enjoyed.
I like how he gives points and the points mean something. And I know it sounds so silly because everyone can do it, but like between Eric's personality and between that he's probably done this 100 times and the points, it really gets the teams engaged. And I like the big teams that come because they're so engaged and supportive and fun. Like you can definitely begin to see the offices that are going to go back really excited to implement it.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially, the Natalie Dinner Group, that was the one that stood out to me the most. One of their folks, Natalie, she was so engaging. I mean, I have to say, I came home thinking about the thing that she did where she had thank you cards on her, and she wrote a thank you card to us for the amazing content of the presentation. And it was really heartwarming, and it made an impact to me because, I've never experienced that before.
Yeah, I mean, you expect the doctors to be engaged because they're the ones paying the money, but Natalie, Sophia, and Kay from Denali Dental were just super engaged and on point. I was super pleased. There was another dentist there. Dr. Nilgis was the other dentist there that his team was also really engaged.
And he was too. He was keeping track of his points and being fun and engaged. So I think for us, for me at least, one of the takeaways is if you can win the crowd and if you can make them participate, the event itself ends up being a lot more fun.
Yeah, one of the things I took away is the hot seat game. So today at Huddle, we had Brittany, our photographer and content creator, sit around, and the rest of the team said what they were appreciative of her. It was really heartwarming to her. I mean, she obviously got emotional, but it was one of those little nuggets that Eric gave to the offices to do at their daily huddle, and I really found it rewarding and enlightening to do it today.
Yeah. Another thing that stood out to me that I had never thought about it before, but I have heard of the book, The 5 Love Languages, and obviously how it applies to personal relationships, but I had never really considered the work love languages, or we call them appreciation languages. So, how they can be different than your personal life love languages. But the idea of going around and getting to know every team member's appreciation language and being able to show appreciation and recognition to them in that way made a lot of sense to me too. So I'm excited for us to try that here.
Mm-hmm. Now, what was your love language, Andre? How does someone get to you?
I think at my work appreciation language is some blend, I think, of acts of service and probably words of affirmation. Even though I start my day every day with hugs, I think those two are more impactful than physical touch or gifts. No, I think It was a great event. I'm excited to, to follow up with the folks and continue building those relationships. We got to meet some amazing all-star coaches there as well, with Shayna and Jen. So keeping those relationships and finding more ways, especially because, we've talked a lot in our conversations about how all of the efforts that we put in marketing are to generate a phone call. And so having good skills in the phone is really important to what we do. And so meeting these coaches that help specifically with that, I think is a good connection for us to bring some value to our existing clients, as well as, the training presentation and everything else that goes into making a successful practice. So the more resources we can have on those areas, I think the more impact we can make for our clients. So I'm excited to keep that going.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Jen, and definitely worth some research on case presentation and what the dentists choose to talk about.
And if you're curious, it's 95% of your time should be talking about the condition that the patient has, and only 5% talking about the treatment.
Andre, thanks for joining me today, and that was your Bite of Dental Marketing.